and welcome to the contract signing ceremony for the Anse de Mai port and Scott's Head Sea Defense Wall. Before we get started, I invite you all to join us in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Good morning again, and thank you very much to all of you for joining us this morning. I would first like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Denise Charles Pemberton, Minister for Tourism and Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, Honorable Lakia Joseph, Parliamentary Representative for the Paybush constituency, Honorable Fidel Grant, Minister for Public Works, Public Utilities and the Digital Economy, other honorable members of Cabinet, Mr. Blaise Jones, Chair of the Board of Directors of Dominica.
Ports Authority to economic growth, but the advancement of the maritime industry and our beautiful island, Dominica. Today's milestone is a reflection of years of planning, evaluation, consulting, and cooperation. We are therefore pleased to partner with Offshore Civil and Marine Incorporated in seeing this project one step closer to becoming a reality. We are confident in the technical expertise of this partner in successfully delivering this project and embrace our shared responsibility and vision for progress. Upon its completion, the Anse de Mai Jetty will undoubtedly enhance our capacity for growth, improve connectivity in the facilitation of trade, and enable an environment for increased tourism activity, thereby fostering economic growth. It will also contribute significantly to our goal to promote increased resiliency in the wake of disasters and the provision of emergency access. Anse de Mai has long been known as a fishing community, and the works on this jetty will provide an avenue to encourage safer facilities, which will increase efficiency and improve the lives of all the community and beyond. On behalf of the Dominica Air and Seaports Authority, I extend heartfelt thanks to each of you for being here to witness this memorable moment. This is the beginning of a partnership that will serve as a lasting commitment to increased sustainability and efficiency at our seaports. Once again, welcome and thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair, Mr. Jones. At this point, I will call to the podium Mr. Kendall Johnson to give a technical overview of both of the projects, the Anse du Mai Seaport, as well as the Soufriere Sea Defense Wall. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, for setting the stage. And good morning to all of you here. Just to acknowledge members of the head table, Honorable Charles, Honorable Joseph, other members of Cabinet, FS Edwards, PS Lancelot, PS Valma, and other senior government officials, distinguished guests, stakeholders, members of the media, and the general listening public. Again, a very good morning to you. I'm particularly pleased to give some remarks and also a technical overview at this important contract signing ceremony for one, the reconstruction of the Anse du Mai port, and two, the reconstruction of sea defenses at Soufriere, Scotshead. I'm also very happy to see such a full house there this morning. That signifies, your support, I would think, and the significance of those two interventions. I'm sure that ceremony marks another milestone for the government as it signifies the commencement of construction works for the mentioned projects. I have been involved personally in one way or the other in both projects over an extended time. In 2003, I recall visiting Anse de Mai for assessing the condition of the then jetty and also to estimate costs for its repair. The jetty was built in the early 1980s to facilitate trade and to allow farmers and fishermen to export their goods to regional markets. The passage of time and the exposure to harsh environmental conditions has taken its toll on the facility, and I think we can all agree that it needs replacing. Similarly, in 2010, I recall an exciting moment when we completed the Soufriere Scotshead Sea Defense Wall. But sadly, during the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017, a section of the wall got damaged due to severe wave action. And so under this contract, the rehabilitation works will be done. In my view, the proposed works are very timely, as both things have an impact on livelihoods and economic advancement in the case of Anse du Mai, and public safety and sustainable transport and communication in the case of Soufriere. The design work was done by the Technical Services Division of the Ministry of Public Works, keeping it local, under the guidance of PS Lancelot and his CTO, Dangleben. I want to say, though, before I go on to my technical part, to thank you to Ms. Paul. Ms. Paul portrayed a deep sense of ownership and her unrelenting efforts to move this project forward, Anse du Mai, should not go unnoticed. I also want to thank the community of Anse du Mai and Benz for their input during the consultations. Initially, we had one draft, one trend, one project going forward, but in their consultation, they made certain recommendations which we have included in this final project. Okay, Anse du Mai. So for the Anse du Mai jetty, the construction consists of a reinforced concrete slabs on pile caps, and they are supported on tubular steel piles. The general configuration of the jetty comprises a pier straight from the shoreline, extending 175 feet out into the sea, and then that terminates into a T, a projecting T, that's another 40 feet, for an overall length of 215 feet. Okay, so it's a rather large facility. The deck space is about 4,200 square feet. The scope of works comprises driving 26 steel piles. Each pile is about 16 inches diameter. 18 of them will be 20 feet long, driven into the ground, and 8 of them 40 feet long at the extreme end, again for additional support. On top of that, we will build the concrete piles and then the concrete slab. Then we will proceed with the installation of bollards and fenders, and then the lighting fixtures. The cost of those works are estimated at $4,075,000. The contractor is Offshore Civil and Marine, and the project duration is about 35 weeks or just about 8 months, a little over 8 months. There are several expected benefits to the community arising from the construction of the new jetty. So one, the new jetty will provide safer berthing for both the fishermen and passenger vessels which are expected to use this jetty. It can also provide quick and unimpeded access and an escape route in times of emergencies. The expanded area of the new jetty will reduce congestion and result in a better working environment for port and immigration officials as well as the local fishermen. Additionally, there may be other prospects for increased marine traffic and the likely creation of new economic opportunities for the community. For the Soufriere works, the scope comprises the demolition of the damaged sections of wall, the reconstruction of a new seawall approximately 60 meters long, about 200 feet, by 3 meters tall, the reconstruction of the road pavement, and also the installation of rock revetment adjacent to the new walls. The construction of a deeper quay and the installation of the rock revetment, those are expected to increase the level of robustness of the wall and also its response in times of extreme weather conditions. The cost for those works, again, $2.97 million. Contractor is Offshore Civil and Marine, and the project duration is about 16 weeks. Offshore Civil and Marine specializes in the construction of marine wall works, seawalls, port rehabilitation, bridges, and other large civil works. The company produces works of high standard and is expected to deliver those projects on time. With these few words, I end my thing. All right, anyway. And I want to thank you for taking some time to listen to me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson, for that very detailed technical overview of both of the projects. Those of you who are viewing online, you would have the benefit of actually a display of those, and we will be sharing some more information in terms of the different renderings and so on of those two projects on our social media platforms, so persons can get an appreciation of what to expect at Anse de Mai and at Scottsdale as well. At this point in time, I would like to call to the podium Honorable Lakia Joseph, Parliamentary Representative for the Peebush constituency. Honorable Joseph.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's a very, Miss Paul, what can I say? It's an exciting day. It's a historic day. But let me just recognize the presence of Honorable Dennis Charles Pemberton, Minister of Tourism, and the Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, also Mr. Johnson and Mr. Blaise, and all of my colleagues who are present here, all those who are listening, the people from the Peebush constituency, and everyone who's listening online and watching us. Good morning to everyone. Today is not just a signing ceremony. Today is a celebration of hope fulfilled. Today is a realization of dreams long held and the planting of new seeds for the future. Today we turn the page of a new chapter in the life of Benz, Anse de Mai, and Solda, and the northern region of Dominica, a chapter of progress, prosperity, and promise. We are here to officially launch the construction of the Anse de Mai port, with a contract valued at $4,075,350. This is more than just a project. This is a transformational investment in the lives of our people. For many years, we've gathered together on the shoreline of Anse du Mai with unwavering faith. We've seen our fishers head out to sea in faith, our vendors set up with optimism, and our children grow up with dreams of something more, something greater. Through every tide, we have held on to hope, and today, I am proud to say, hope has arrived. To the courageous fishers of Anse du Mai and Ansolda, this port belongs to you. It also belongs to every neighboring community: Calibishie, Paybush, Bakers, Portsmouth, Woodford Hill, Wesley, Marigot. It will provide safer, more reliable docking, better access for unloading and storage, and a chance to increase your income while protecting your livelihoods. No more worrying about a chance to increase your income while protecting your livelihoods. No more watching the sea swallow your tools and your catch. You will now have a modern, efficient space designed to support your craft and strengthen your contribution to our economy. To the families of Anse du Mai and Solda and Benz, this is your moment too. This jetty is about creating opportunity. It will bring new jobs, from construction to tourism to small business venture and agriculture. It will empower our vendors, our youth, our artisans, our fishers, our farmers. It will revitalize our community life and spark economic activity that ripples in every home, every classroom, and every household. To our children, imagine the possibilities. Imagine being able to walk down to the port and see boats coming in with not just fish, but with ideas, with tourists, with opportunity. Imagine being able to dream of being a tour operator, a marine officer, a business owner, right here in your home community. You don't have to live to make it. Your future is being built right here in Anse du Mai. We have waited long, but that waiting was never in vain. It strengthened our unity, refined our vision, and tested our resolve. Today is a day of reward. And we cannot reflect on this moment without honoring those who have carried the torch before us. I want to personally take a moment to salute Honorable Rosalind Paul, whose steadfast work and vision helped bring the dream closer to reality. She laid the solid foundation, and it is my honor to continue the work she began, and together we are delivering on that mission. The Anse du Mai port holds significant importance for Dominica for several reasons. Anse du Mai is a traditional fishing village. A new jetty will provide safer, more reliable docking facilities for local fishers, allowing them to land, store, and transport their catch more efficiently. This boosts food security, livelihoods, and the local economy. This jetty will stimulate economic activity in the village and surrounding areas by creating jobs and encouraging small businesses like fish markets, restaurants, and boat services. A modern, well-built jetty improves Dominica's disaster response. After storms or hurricanes, ports like Anse du Mai are critical for bringing in emergency supplies and providing evacuation routes, especially in isolated coastal areas. The jetty will attract more visitors interested in authentic community experiences, fishing tours, coastal sightseeing, and ecotourism. It strengthens Dominica's nature island tourism branding while supporting sustainable and community-based tourism activities. And of course, agricultural trade. From fresh fish and produce to wines, oils, and other agro-processed goods, this port will open the doors wider to our neighboring islands. The scope of work include, but are not limited to, as Mr. Johnson stated, the demolition of the existing jetty, construction of a suspended concrete deck approximately 65 meters long, and 26 tubular steel pipes. The provision of infrastructure on the jetty, including utilities like potable water, lights, etc., and installation of fenders and bollards. The new berthing structure was designed as a suspended concrete deck structure on tubular steel pipes. The berthing structure will be connected to the landside by a reinforced concrete transition ramp. The jetty structure is provided with appropriate quay furniture as fender elements, bollards, and ladders. The new structure configuration takes into account suggestions made at community consultations in Anse de Mai. As such, a T-section of some 12 meters long was added to the seaward end of the facility for berthing of larger passenger-type vessels at the deeper end. Closer to the shore, a platform of additional width was designed to relieve congestion and allow for a separation of immigration and fishing activities. The new jetty structure will be provided with potable water and lighting fixtures. All in all, with all of these technical terms, this new jetty is purpose-built and people-focused. A 65-meter suspended concrete deck with a T-end for larger vessels, expanded width for ease of use, potable water access, lighting fixtures, fender systems, and a community-informed design. This is not just an infrastructure, it is inclusion. The very design of the jetty incorporates feedback from our people. This is development by the people, with the people, and for the people. And it doesn't end here. This port will enhance our national capacity for emergency response, allow for greater trade and export, and serve as a launching point for ecotourism and cultural engagement. It is an essential link in the northern chain, connecting us to opportunity and resilience. So let us give thanks, deep heartfelt thanks, to the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, whose commitment to rural transformation has once again borne fruit. Thank you to the Ministries of Tourism and Public Works, to DASPA, to our project engineers, planners, and partners at Offshore, Civil, and Marine. Thank you for believing in our vision. Thank you for walking with us on this journey. To my beloved constituents, this is your reward for every moment that you believed, even when things felt uncertain. This is your reward for every community meeting, every consultation, every word of encouragement that I gave. You steered the course, you kept the faith, and now the tide is turning in our favor. Let us rise with it. Let the sign-in be the start of greater things, a more vibrant economy, stronger families, empowered youth, and a future we can proudly say we build together. Today, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we build. And always, we rise. May God bless Anse de Mai and Solda, Benz, and all the beautiful people of the Paybush constituency. May He bless this project greatly, and may He continue to bless the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Joseph. At this point in time, I will call to the podium Honorable Denise Charles Pemberton, the parliamentary representative for the Soufriere constituency and the Minister for Tourism. Honorable Pemberton.
Good morning, everyone. I want to recognize the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, who will be joining us. Honorable Fidel Grant, Minister for Public Works. Honorable Lakia Josie, Parliamentary Representative for the Paybush constituency. My honorable colleagues, the Financial Secretary, Permanent Secretaries, the respective councils, my constituents who are present, the Chairman of DASPA and the staff of DASPA, the media. Today is a moment of fulfillment for the people of Anse de Mai, Soufriere, and Scotshead, and the wider nation. A testament to the promise and purpose of the Dominica Labour Party government. Today, we prove once again that this is a government who delivers, not just with words, but with actions, with results, with love for our people. When Hurricane Maria struck, it did not spare us. It tore apart our homes, livelihoods, and critical infrastructure, including a vital section of the Soufriere Scotshead sea defense wall. But in the face of destruction, we stood strong. We chose to rebuild. We chose hope. This government invested millions to restore homes and shelter for our people. And still, we never lost sight of our promise to restore the seawall. Though global challenges like COVID-19 delayed us, we remain committed because hope delayed is not hope denied. And today, we deliver on that promise. The repair of this seawall is not just concrete and steel. It is protection for families, for fisher folk, for livelihoods. It is a symbol of safety, security, and forward movement. So I am elated that just a couple months after the completion of the Scottshead Seaview homes, which will soon be handed over to 21 families, we are repairing the Soufriere Scottshead Seawall for a total cost of $2.96 million. So forward we go in the Soufriere constituency. Soon our fishing processing plant, slipway project for fishermen, Point Michel Plainfield Rehabilitation Phase 2, Point Michel to Soufriere Road project will commence. And on May 18th, we shall all meet on the Brooklyn Plainfield in Soufriere for rounders and cricket as we officially launch our first games on our newly installed lights on the Brooklyn Plainfield. Thank you to the Ministry of Sports and National Lotteries. Galio, you are next. We are soon going to commence the building of the multi-purpose resource center, so you're not forgotten. But our journey does not end there. We are also investing a little over $4 million for the construction of a new and modern port facility for the people of Anse de Mai. We are lifting Anse de Mai to the next level, and all communities in the north will benefit from this major investment. I want to commend Honorable Joseph and former PAL Rep, Honorable Paul. Welcome to the Honorable Prime Minister, the visionary leader himself, for their steadfast efforts. This new facility will not only transform the face of the community, but open its shores, as the Parab said, to more visitors, more opportunity, and more economic activity. It will create jobs, support local entrepreneurs, and boost the appeal of the Paybush constituency in Dominica's growing tourism and trade landscape. My friends, this is what visionary leadership looks like. Planning, investing, and building with people at the center. The Roosevelt-Skerrit-led Dominica Labour Party government is not guessing. We are governing with a clear roadmap for a better future. We are building a resilient, inclusive, and sustainable tourism industry, one that brings benefits to artisans, vendors, taxi operators, farmers, agro-processors, fishermen, and every Dominican willing to work for their future. Every village in Dominica has unique attributes which will contribute to a vibrant tourism industry. But it will require us to put aside our differences and work together to ensure that we create authentic packages that will give visitors experiences that will make them choose and return to Dominica. Our country is rising, and it is rising because we are blessed with stable, prudent, and people-focused leadership. We do not govern through chaos or division. We govern with hearts, with purpose, and with integrity. Thank you, Prime Minister Skerrit. There are some who seek to confuse, who thrive on disorder, who attack the Citizen by Investment program, and try to drag Dominica's name through the mud on the world stage. But let me ask you, how men who cannot bring their own house in order claim they are ready to lead a nation? The Bible says it's best, by their fruits we shall know them. Look around. Despite hurricanes, a pandemic, and global pressures, look at resilient homes, the roads, the hotel developments, the Cabritz Marina, the cable car, the international airport, the jobs, and soon the new cruise, cargo, and ferry terminal. In one word, progress. These are the fruits of labor. Enjoy them, yes, but never take them for granted. They were built through faith, through sacrifice, and through a government that keeps its words. So let us continue to pray. Let us remain patient, focused, and united. Let us not act out of frustration, but out of faith, because the future we are building requires steady hands and steady hearts. Together, we will continue to rise, community by community, family by family, project by project, until every Dominican in every corner of this beautiful island can say, thank God for good leadership. Let us thank God for His grace, His favor, and His continued mercies. And let us continue to work together, hand in hand, for a stronger, safer, and more dynamic Dominica. Before I conclude, I want to send warm greetings to the people of Woodford Hill who welcomed us yesterday with open arms, and we had a productive meeting. I love the energy. Forward we go. To the Woodford Hill NEP Beach team, keep up the outstanding work. I am convinced that all roads are going to lead to Woody Beach for the summer. But let me inform all Dominicans that the best lobster and grilled fish can only be found in Scottshead. Thank you to PS Tourism, PS OPM, FS, PS Public Works, the Ministry of Public Works, the Minister of Public Works, DASPA, Finance, for organizing today's event. Offshore Marine, thank you in advance for the new hires in the Soufriere constituency and Paybush constituency. And my constituents, for your patience, love, and genuine support. I truly appreciate you. All glory and honor to the Lord, and may He continue to bless our beautiful nation and people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Pemberton, and what a wonderful way to segue into our next speaker, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thanks. Thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm very happy to be here. They've prepared a wonderful speech for me, but I may I say a few words. I want to recognize all my colleagues here, of course, the senior public officers, and of course our friends from DASPA and the residents of Anse de Mai and Solda, and also Scottshead. I'm so happy to be here to be part of this very simple but very impactful ceremony. No doubt the construction of the jetty facility at Anse de Mai is going to help with the continued transformation of those communities. It's going to enhance the ability of the residents of those communities to make a better living. And it's certainly going to help improve fishing, tourism, and trade. As you know, we do quite a bit of trade between the Anse de Mai port and the Saints, Marie-Galante, and Guadeloupe. And the challenge we've had in Anse de Mai is the dilapidated state of the jetty itself. We came up there with you before we designed the jetty. You gave us local knowledge of how the jetty should be designed and what we should take into consideration. All of those interventions and all of those suggestions were taken into consideration in the design of the jetty. When we came up with the first draft of the jetty, we went back to meet with the fishermen and the residents of the community. And they suggested to us some changes to be made to the jetty, which cost us an additional $200,000 US. And we incorporated those additional suggestions in the cost of the project, because the project should have been over $3 million. Now it's over $4 million. it is because of the additional 535,000 EC dollars based on the recommendation of the community, because we wanted to ensure that what we built was being built by the people of the community. Because we do these things for you, not for ourselves. We're just, I keep telling people, we're just instruments on earth carrying out the Lord's work. What we do is for the people of this country, and you, because you are the direct beneficiaries of this. So this jetty is going to cost us $4,075,000. That's a lot of money to be spending in Anse de Mai. But you deserve every dollar that will be spent in the community. And so it is a huge investment that will have certainly a multiplier effect on your community. And so I know some of your boats who would have been damaged back in the days because of the quality of it or the jetty. And the truth is, previous attempts to construct the jetty did not follow pure engineering science. The construction of the jetty is taking that into consideration. It's taking the issue of climate change and the impact of climate change on our coastlines across Dominica. And this is where the additional $20,000 came in, because when I went there, people would tell me, well, Scary, well, if we don't do this, then it will have an impact on the jetty. And I'm saying, but I'm spending so much money in this jetty already, you still adding to it, But we had to make a change. So the first phase is to construct the jetty and also to protect it from the impact of wave movement and current movement. The second phase of the project will be the reconstruction of proper facilities for the customs, and we're about to design that customs and immigration department to include not only offices, but comfortable accommodation for the public officers who work at the port, and also better facilities for the fishermen to pilot trade, storage facilities, etc. So this is the first phase. The second phase will be to construct those facilities. And of course, I've given direction for us to move ahead. As the second phase will be the construction of proper office and housing accommodation for the customs and immigration officers who are resident in Anse de Mai. As you all know, Anse de Mai is an official port, and therefore we need to ensure that we have customs and immigration present to facilitate the departure and entry of people from Dominica to Guadeloupe and back and forth. Certainly, we see the number of boats that come from Marigal and the Saints. When we have festive seasons, it'll also allow us to have more of those. I see my friend Mr. Williams there. More of those activities in the area, so that more people come in, more consumption, more beds are occupied, more money stays in the community. People make money, and this is the objective of the government. The objective of the government is to do things to get people to make money. You understand? And so those investments are to put you in a position or to facilitate your ability to make money and to make as much as you can. Because the whole idea is to lift people up so that people can be able to build their homes, buy a motor car, and send their children to school. And this is what we're talking about. So I'm so happy for the residents of Anse de Mai and Solder, and of course the entire North, because they're fishermen from Vickers and Penville who also have their boats at Anse de Mai. And the reality is those communities have always been one. Dating way back, we're relatives on both sides of this. So I'm an Anse de Mai man, we own the whole of Anse de Mai and Solder, and half of Bent, so you guys don't know that, right? I have roots in Anse de Mai. My cousin there, my family there from Anse de Mai there, and Solder. So I'm very, very happy to be part of this ceremony and to celebrate. We will come to Anse de Mai when we start to come bless the sea and to bless the sand. And so I'll be there physically, but we do not want to hold this back because we need to sign a contract and get the guys in advance so they can start. And so once they get the advance, which will be in a couple of days' time, the check is ready. Check is ready. Yeah, the check is ready. So they get their check today, so they can't say schedule get the money yet to start. So we'll give them a few days to mobilize, and once they mobilize and so on, we'll come on site and have the Gong Bless and we'll engage in a festive spirit, look into the future with hope and confidence and so on. So I look forward to coming, hopefully in the month of May, to Anse de Mai to celebrate with you. And of course, the Seawall. And I think sometimes it's important for us to, unfortunately in the schools and even in our public discourse, we don't speak about history and we don't speak about contemporary history. And so we have a lot of falsehood and misinformation peddling in this country about what Dominica was like when we became the government and what Dominica was like when I became Prime Minister. And people believe that what they see in Dominica now, we always had it, or Dominica was better than when I became the Prime Minister of the country or the Labour Party came in 2000. We all recognize Dominica was in a very dire situation on all fronts. On all fronts. Access to education was low. Access to basic healthcare was low. Every single conceivable road in Dominica was bad. Every road in Dominica was bad. Everyone, including our major roads. Don't talk about village roads. Anywhere you see concrete, anywhere you see asphalt these days, this government did it. And this is why people get a little anxious and a little angry when they see some potholes, because you're so accustomed with no potholes. You know, so we see a pothole, you vex. Like, I just get vexed too, so power for you, you know? So because you're so accustomed to something that you say, but what a pothole in there? You know? And so you complain. But when the President of Scott said, know what their lives were like, with no seawall. I mean, every time there was a sea surge, what was called the road was washed away, and all we had was stones. And I have walked across stones many times to come and see the residents of Scott said. Many times walking across stones because the place washed away completely. And you recall back then when Ian Pinard was the power rep for the Scottish constituency, in his first term, he declared with my backing that we will build a seawall. And when you look at the cost of the seawall, and that's why I understand sometimes why governments never did certain things, because they didn't have the means to be able to raise the funds. And they were not able to engender relationships with countries and institutions abroad to raise the kind of money that required to help Dominica build. And so we're able to foster good friendships and relationships to the point where countries assisted us in our economic and social advancement. And it is President Hugo Chavez of blessed memory and the people of the Bolivarian Revolution and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela who gave us $30 million to build the seawall. And that $40 million was just for the Scottshead section. It did not include the Soufriere section. So just the Scottshead section in the initial cost of the project was $30 million. Now, if you were to look at this thing purely from an economic standpoint and you apply economics to this, it would be better to give everybody in Scottshead $300,000 and move them and build their homes elsewhere. But this is where the people know to be their home. And this is where the people know where they are making a living. And this is where they belong to, and this is where it belongs to them. And so we've had to invest $40 million to build this section of the seawall to mitigate against the impact of weather systems on the road network and the lives and livelihoods of people. And we were able to construct this seawall. And this seawall has resisted serious disasters. I believe that is some debris all the way to cause the collapse of this section that we're now about to reinstate. But I mean, all of the hurricanes and the storms, the seawall was able to withstand it, and so forth. And what people don't know, people who don't live down there don't know, is that whenever there was a sea surge, then there will be no lights, there'll be no water because the water lines run across there. There'll be no telephone communication because all of the telephone lines run along the seashore. All of these things have been saved. So when there's a surge, we still have telephone service, we still have water connection, we still have electricity in Scottshead, enhancing the quality of life for the people and placing them in a greater peace of mind and so forth. So this is what we're seeking to do. And so we'll be spending $2 million $969,213.75 on that section of the seawall. That's a lot of money. And you have some saying. So when people say that the government should do this and government should do that, we have now to put a figure to it and understand how much we're spending on this. Now, you know how many homes they could build in Scotland with that money? You understand? But this is a priority. And though we're about in the next few weeks, we'll hand over how many homes? 21? 21 homes, brand new homes, resilient homes to the residents of Scotland. That is in addition to. So this seawall is in addition to this. And so when people say that, people ask what is happening in Dominica and so on. I mean, if we have to talk about what the problem we have in the government, that we don't talk about what's happening in the country now. And so people tend to take things for granted. And we're doing all of these things in a very difficult global environment. The global environment is extremely difficult now. I have studied the changes in the world over the last 10 years, and the world 10 years ago and 10 years now are two different worlds. And so to navigate those challenges, you must have the know-how. And importantly, you must have a government that is empathetic. At the end of it, what's going to make a difference in the lives of people is who cares and who doesn't care. And those projects are being advanced because this is an empathetic government. It's a government that understands. The government understands that it has to make, as a government, sacrifices that will benefit the masses. Because I can tell you many things that we could do with $7 million, other than the jetty and other than the seawall. But we have prioritized those interventions, not because we have more than we should have, or we have money that we do not want what to do with. This is clearly deliberate decisions on the part of the government that we need to do these things to make life better for the community. So I'm so happy for these two communities, the two parts of Dominica, one in the north, one in the south. Certainly, it is a boost of confidence in the residents in these communities. This is tangible. These are tangible interventions that we're making, and we look forward to this. And of course, this government, this party, is always prepared to engage people. This is the government that has been the most engaging government in the history of Dominica. The government that is most accessible in the history of our country, and we continue to promote this. We continue to promote engagement and dialogue, and continue to embrace anybody and everybody who is prepared to make a sincere contribution to Dominica's development. And so when you hear in parties that the youth has no place in those parties, where the youth are not heard or not allowed to speak, in this government, the average age is in the 30s. In this party. This is the party that elected a 31-year-old to be a prime minister of the country and a 31-year-old to be leader of a party. But in other parties, you're 42 and you have no place in the party. And if we're saying that the youth are the leaders of today, you don't even have a future. Because if you don't have a today, you cannot have a future. And so there's a stark difference. And in this world of turbulence, in this world of great uncertainty, what any country needs now is stability. Any country needs now is stability, and it's no different from your home. If your family is having challenges for one reason or the other, whether it's health challenges or financial challenges or whatever it is, the family must be united to fight those challenges or to overcome them. They must be aligned. Everyone in the home must be aligned. And so we must stand together in order to overcome those challenges. And if Moses had allowed some within his camp to divide and to misguide him, they would not have been in Israel today. And so if there's disunity, the house can never stand. And so we look forward to those things, and we wish you all the best. As I said, I look forward to coming to Scottshead soon. And just to be transparent and so on, I like to say these things and so on. But when I went to Anse de Mai, and I met the fishermen there, and I met people who are associated with Anse de Mai, and my brother who frequents Anse de Mai on a daily basis, and they have all told me, Skerritt, the people of Anse de Mai, you see us in Anse de Mai, and people who reporting on their behalf said, they see people of Anse de Mai, they said, that is the only thing they want from you. That's the only thing they want from you. They're jetty, and once they get that, they don't need nothing else. You are okay. You see what I'm saying? So you're okay. So I am delivering the jetty. Thank you very much, and so on. and then the people of Scott said, the people of Scott said the same thing. He said, yes, Kerry, I know you girls see Seawall, but that section there, man, it's dangerous, and and that's the only thing Scott said needs. I know lower down, we have to do something about the Seawall along inside the village, but that can wait still. But that section there, we must fix that. And I hear you come in a town hall meeting there, but you have to do that and so on. And if you do that, we good in Scottshead. So I'm just reporting what they say. And I said to them, no, we have the money now. In time, the money will come and so on. And the money has arrived, and we can start. So we look forward to you keeping your word. I've kept mine. And you all know, I don't make promises I cannot keep. And so I'm hoping you, like me, that you keep your promises. But I wish you all the best in these communities. And as time goes by, you will see a number of interventions that we will have. As you know, we go to Parliament this month to contract a loan from the World Bank. It's a budget support loan with some capital interventions that we will use some of the funds there. And two of the more critical interventions that we'll be making with these funds is the relocation of PD Soufriere and Sansove, and also the relocation of Campbell. And so we look forward to those projects there. Some major interventions there, and of course we will speak to other interventions in the weeks ahead. And if you're wondering whether it's scary going to call elections and so on, this is not an election here. This is not an election here. Though people always come to the conclusion that once a government doing so many things, that's election day. But the reality is, if you look at our track record, we're always doing things. We don't wait for election to fool people or make people believe. No, I am not in the business of trying to fool anybody, and I believe that as politicians we must always be there for the people, no matter what. And so these interventions are not about elections or anything. I always know that I always trust the voters of this country, that they know what is right, and they know, and they can discern things, and they know that this is a government that you can always rely on, especially in difficult times, because in difficult times, that's when you know who are your true friends. God bless you and God bless our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, for setting the context and the framework within which we are here today in terms of the signing of these two very important contracts. At this point in time, I welcome you all to join us in witnessing the signing of the contracts. We will first be signing the contract for the Anse de Mai Port, and that will be signed by the Dominica ANC Ports Authority, represented by the Chair, Mr. Blaise Jones, and Offshore Civil and Marine, represented by Mr. Francis Emmanuel. Thank you. And as the PM officially mentioned, we are also providing the mobilization check at this point in time. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. At this point in time, we will be signing the contract for the Scottshead Sea Defense Wall. This contract is signed between the government of Dominica, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Works, and Offshore Civil and Marine, represented by Mr. Francis Emmanuel. Thanks. So in closing, we would like to thank each and every one of you for your active presence this morning. It certainly reinforces the partnership that we have with all of you, and we want to thank you all for that. Thank you, of course, for the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Denise Charles Pemberton, Honorable Lakia Joseph, and all of the other honorable members of Cabinet, and all of our partners. Thank you, everyone, and have a lovely weekend.